Alright, hello everyone. Welcome to episode number 18 of Your First Jungle Clear. I'm hoping you guys can hear me all good, see me all good. Let me know in the chat if that is the case. This is my jungle show where I review the early pathing from members of my community. Why the early game, you might ask? Early game is very important for junglers. I talk about that all the time on my channel. So I want to dedicate a specific show to that, talking about how we can get most impact as a jungler in terms of the early game. The later the game goes, the harder it is to, not the harder it is, but like obviously you're not going to be getting as much gold as laners can, unless you're literally taking all their waves, which they're not going to be happy about. So focus on the early game, perfect that, the rest of your games become a lot easier as a jungler. So we have a full lineup tonight, pretty excited about this one. 5 guests, so we'll start just powering through these here. First guest is going to be a Diamond Kha'Zix, I believe. Yeah, Maythor. So Maythor, if you're listening, I'm going to drag you in just a moment. Also, the way this works as well, if you're new to the show, basically, I'll be spending a lot of time focused on the actual person that I'm doing the review with. But if you want to ask questions in between the games, then that's the perfect time. I'll just answer questions for a couple of minutes. And I'll see the chat as well. So if you ask a question throughout the, whilst I'm in a review, just ask. I'll just respond to it after each review. Alright, how's it going, Byron? That's good. You can obviously see and hear me all good. So let's get our first guest in here. Get his game up as well. Alright, Maythor, you're on the air. Can you hear me all good?
Yep.
This is your first time on the show, right? You've been on Discord for a while, but have you been on it before?
It's my second time on here.
Oh, second time, that's right. And I forgot your name
Yeah, you
again.
did my Zen game before. It's Josh.
That's right, Josh. Alright. Alright, Josh. Should be able to see the game right now up on your screen.
Yep.
So I'm a bit confused as well. So you're platinum on on Discord, but this is a diamond account. This is not your account. Is that
Yep.
Is that right? Okay.
Yeah. I've shown you this account before.
Okay. Alright, so you did have a question around this game, didn't you? So your main question here was you wanted to know about if you could have played the early game better, or based on you spam ganked instead of farmed. Is that the idea?
Yeah. When there's farming, going to be better than spam ganking. As a scaling jungler like Kha'Zix.
Okay. So yeah, we'll definitely take a look at it. I mean, I definitely want to look at specific situations. I mean, obviously farming's great for gold, but if you're getting kills from ganks, that's also great for gold, right? But obviously with champs like Kha'Zix, it's a little bit more difficult to be getting those ganks off, right? Pre-6, so, but definitely possible. Not saying it's not possible. Let's just actually turn this volume down a bit. Alright, so tell me about what you're thinking in terms of potential win condition. I mean, Kha'Zix's goal is obviously to get to 6 early, but it sounds like you actually spam gank. So, like, what lane are you looking at right here?
So, at the start of the game, I know it says against Wukong. And obviously, I'm not as good in a fight as Wukong is in most situations, so I decided I'd play around the bot and mid lane. With Yasuo being my main win condition, because he can ult and bronze ult and Malphite's ult. So
Okay.
I did 3 camps into a gank.
Yeah. So, did you have this idea in mind before going to this game? Because obviously, if you think about it right now, if you wanted to do this path and gank straight away, wouldn't Machete be much better for that instead of Talisman?
Yes. Usually, I will do a 5 camp clear with the Talisman, and I usually do the 3 camp clear with the Machete. But I was kind of not as focused because I was in Discord.
Okay, well, definitely.
I just kind of autopilot purchased items.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, I definitely think this can work. I mean, I've seen Kha'Zix's do this before. Your idea about mid and bot as your win condition, I mean, the way that I view Kha'Zix is, okay, I'm getting to level 6, that's like obviously objective priority. I still want to try and do something in the early game, but I need to think about who's the easiest for me to kill on this team, right? So for Kha'Zix, super easy targets here are Lux, Vayne,
Lux and
Echo, and in a way as well. Would you say Vayne's easy to kill as well?
If her condemn is down, yeah.
So yeah, definitely I think Garen's a little bit beefy, and Wukong you sort of want to be avoiding. So we do for this level 3 gank mid here. We get countered by Wukong, and we actually have a lot of information from this gank here as well. So this looks like that Wukong has 16 CS, and he has blue buff, but he doesn't have red. So what does that tell us?
It tells us that he didn't take his red. It tells us that didn't take his red. He just cleared camps and then went down. He was mid-full clear.
Yep, so he's obviously done blue, Gromp, Wolves, Raptors, hasn't taken red. So pretty interesting path from him there. But that's obviously going to be pretty good because we're pretty safe to clear these bot camps here.
That Wukong was pretty PvE that game.
Okay, nice. You actually get first blood here. Alright, so let's think about sort of the decision-making process around this. So, obviously you can do your Raptors. Mid is pushing in right now. You didn't burn Echo's flash in that last gank. But he most likely hasn't warded.
You know, what?
So yeah, I mean, I think this is great, Josh, honestly. I mean, he's trying to force this wave because he wants the base right now. He's trying to push in the wave. He's really low on mana.
He had no mana.
So this is actually what, if I'm putting myself in the shoes of Echo, this is the last thing I want. I want to just safely get this push in, reset, right? The last thing I want is a level 3 Kha'Zix gank him. It's actually probably pretty unexpected from him as well. Like, you just ganked. So I think this is really, really good. I like this a lot. The way that I view Kha'Zix as well, and like early game junglers, if I can get like about 2 or 3 things off in the early game, that's enough for me to just carry the game. Because then I can just go into full power farm mode. And you've sort of put out enough pressure in terms of the early game where you don't need to worry about like 3 losing lanes you're trying to carry as a Kha'Zix scaling, right? So that's why really, if you can think and pull off a gank like this, is just like absolute ideal situation. Okay, so I actually am a little bit worried about where you walk after this. So where is Wukong right now?
Top side.
He's top side, right? And you actually show yourself walking to top side right here on literally 15% health. So what do you think?
Yeah, I should have taken the bot side scuttle and then taken my Raptors and based.
Yep, so this is incredibly risky, Josh. This is literally almost suicide. Wukong could literally just be on scuttle right now. He just sees you coming, walk here, comes to this brush, you're dead. You know, you give away doubles. But Wukong actually shows mid. Very, very lucky. So you can probably double scuttle this guy. Okay, so now we're going for a top gank here. Okay, so let's take a look again at this gank now. So every time you gank, you show on the map as a jungler. You need to always think, okay, what am I potentially losing on the other side, right? So your Raptors are still up, which is still a very good camp for you to get. You could have potentially, I think, double scuttled Wukong and taken your Krugs and then maybe reset to do like another full clear down bot. Like, what do you think about that instead of ganking top here? I mean, obviously in hindsight, like he gets away, which obviously looks like it's not worth. But I'm just trying to weigh up right now. Even if I get this kill, the amount I can lose, I don't think it's worth it. What do you think?
Also, if I got the bot side scuttle, Wukong shows mid, I could have killed Wukong and then got top side scuttle.
Are you talking about, I'm talking about this situation. Are you talking about if you, in case you went bot first?
Yeah, if I got bot side
Okay,
scuttle,
yeah.
Wukong would have showed up mid. We could have 2v1'd him. Would have been a lot better.
Potentially. I think that's actually biting off a bit more that you can chew. Like, you've already had like a great early game right here. I want Yas to base spend his gold from first blood, and I want you to just chill out and just farm. So I think the spam ganking factor right here is the wrong decision, Josh. I think that first gank was amazing, but then just like turn it back a bit, just slow down the game a bit, you know, like at the end of the day, you have 16 CS right now, you know, and you're still going to have 16 CS for a long time because doing Raptors and Krugs is an amazing camps for Kha'Zix. Especially the fact that like, you have Talisman, utilize it, right? Because, I mean, Wukong could literally just destroy you right here. He could take Scuttle, he could take Raptors, he could take Krugs. Then what are you left with? Literally Wolves and like a Gromp spawning soon for like the next literally 2 minutes, which is not ideal, right? That's going to delay your level 6 big time.
Yeah.
So you're lucky you just didn't get punished for this at all, Josh. Okay, so this is a bit awkward. in terms of just like this path in, I think it's potentially the right move to base. Like you do have 1100 gold, but you see how you're sort of like, you've done your wolves, you've done your raptors.
Skipped my Gromp.
You've skipped your Gromp. Like you sort of have to do one or the other. You're either going to be doing wolves, raptors, Krugs, or you're going to do Gromp, wolves, raptors, or just Gromp and wolves and reset and then go bot side. Because now you're like, you've sort of, you have to choose which side you're going to go after base, right? And you're sort of like, okay, I have one camp here and one camp there. This is sort of a situation I never want to get into on Kha'Zix specifically.
Yeah, I didn't sequence my camps particularly well there. I was kind of tunneled in on the dragon.
I mean, I think that going bot side definitely is really good for this drag here. You have great vision control. So this is a great decision, Josh. Just rush a drag like this. So, I mean, right now, I'm just thinking this is just... I mean, it's not the perfect early game. I think you could have got seriously punished for this, but this is like... I view this as like a A+, like, Kha'Zix game in terms of... I have... My team's not super far behind, and I can just, like, start power farming and just being really annoying as a level 6 Kha'Zix.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you always need to be very careful when you E over this wall here, because it's like, it's weirdly thick. It's like, it looks like you can maybe jump over like this section here, but like you can't, you know?
Yeah, I was really sad. If I got the jump off, then that would have been 2 kills bot lane. And that would have been really good.
Alright, so...
But I kind of jumped nowhere.
Yeah. Alright, so now Josh, this is where you need to really pull on the brakes.
Power farm.
Like, look at this, your entire jungle's up, because think about worst case scenario right now. If you were to die right now, all your camps are up. That is terrible for you, right? Like, Wukong's literally out 11 you. He's level 6 right now. I mean, he's been AFK farming, as you've said. But, like, again, I view this right now as, like... I don't know if you watch my new guide, but I talk about the lock-in mindset, where if I have a good early game as, like, a tank jungler or a scaling champ, sort of like Kha'Zix, then I just start farming. And then just be looking for the right... opportunities that are in my favor. Like, right now, you're a level 5 Kha'Zix, you know, coming into a Wukong that's level 6. So... I think this is a bit risky, and the biggest thing is just you need to be clearing your camps here.
Yep, and if I did the full clear, I'd be like level 6.5.
Yeah, you'll be probably level 7, honestly, Josh. Very close to it anyway. So I mean, you guess you did come help your Wukong there, but you see how you've sequenced camps again now? Now you've missed your Krugs again, and remember, Krugs is the most important camp for us to be taken on the map, especially getting off that first clear to get it scaling experience and gold, right? So you're really going to hurt your long-term experience gain from this path in here. So it might look all good right now, but in terms of like trying to get like 2 levels ahead of Wukong, it's just not going to be possible right now. So that's really all I want to go over for this early game, Josh. So I think that the ganks you chose, I think were good. But we need to think a little bit more about what we could miss by showing on the map, especially one side of the map when all your camps are up. And that's why it's really good to just be full clearing one side and then just doing everything on the other side of the map, because then the enemy jungler can't take anything. They can't trade anything for you, say, ganking kills.
So I should do my ganks early and then power farm to 6, then continue the pressure? Most games?
I never like to boil down to like one sort of strategy, because it's going to have to depend on, like, you're going to have to adapt to every game, right? But in Kha'Zix like how, say you have 2 options with the Kha'Zix. You're either going to go for the 5 camp into Scuttle, right? So this is going to be like level 4. Or you start Machete and you can do what you did. You do red, blue, Gromp into like look into a gank. I think that the 5 camp Scuttle is more towards the safer option and towards Kha'Zix's identity, and then looking to do something, maybe a gank level 4.
Yeah, so I used to do the 5 camp Scuttle or the full clear back and then get a Scuttle. But I just got really tired of like early game junglers or any jungler just getting ganks off before I finish that clear, getting ahead of themselves, getting my lanes behind before I get the chance to do anything on the map.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely something that you just have no control over. But I mean, that's you're picking Kha'Zix. Like, don't expect it for you to be able to have insane map impact. So I mean, Yeah, you sort of just got to be like, okay, well, that's just my identity. But like, I mean, if it's working for you, keep doing it. But personally, level 3 ganking machete, Kha'Zix, like, you're not the strongest champ, right? Like, it can work, but imagine if you E in and you get counter ganked, and then you lose like potentially all your camps for that. Like, that's like literally worst case scenario for Kha'Zix, right? That's why the safest option
Yeah.
is to do the 5 camps Rift Scuttler.
Yeah, I usually do the 5 camp rift and then respawn, try to do a level 4 or 5 gank, farm to 6, and then try to outscale everybody.
And that's what you want to be doing as Kha'Zix. You get level 6, that's your identity, then you can start getting really far ahead. I mean, the way that I view like Kha'Zix, and same with Eve and stuff like that, is like I don't care what happens to my team pre-6. I mean, I want to try still impact some sort of lane somehow, but I'm just going to be going into... there's a couple of opportunities I see in the game. There's like, okay, you have probably 3 ults between level 6 and I'd say like maybe level 9, which is probably about 5, 6, 7 minutes of the game. And in that period, I'm looking to do all those 3 as high impact as possible. And that's like getting dragons, getting some kills. Every time you burn ult as Kha'Zix and you're not getting anything, that's like, I view that as like I made a mistake. I shouldn't have gone for that play in the first place, right? So that's sort of the way I view with Kha'Zix. I feel like I can win games just through that tiny period between like level 6 and 9. If you're high impact using your ult, that's all I need.
Yep.
Alright, so do you have any other questions around this review or Kha'Zix in general?
Oh, no, right now, no.
Alright, well let's get to Diamond on your main account, Josh, alright? I'm sick of seeing
Yeah,
you
of
playing in
course.
Discord. Like, you have clearly got the knowledge, but we need to be playing, I think, more games.
Yep. Once the semester ends, I'm going to be grinding.
Excellent. Great to hear, Josh. Well, I'm excited to see your results. Alright, I'm going to let you go now. Thanks for coming on, and I'll potentially see you next time.
Alright, thanks.
Alright, so that was our first guest on the show. We'll drag our second one in a moment here. Manthos in the chat says, really likes my content. Keep up the good work. Thanks, man. Really appreciate it. Do you have any idea where I can find that detailed explanation guide for top lane as well? Top lane channels. So like the Solo Renekton guy only, I've heard he's pretty good for top lane. That's really all I know. To be honest, I don't know much about other YouTube coach content creators for League of Legends. So fortunately, that's all I got for you, Manthos. But if anyone else in the chat's watching knows about top lane coaches, then help Manthos out. Okay, so next one is a Kayn game. Let's get it up. Oh yeah, Skill Cupped as well. Skill Cupped makes great content. Nice. Okay, yeah, I've also heard of Nice as well. Yep, I think Nice is pretty good. Alright, so let's get this next review up. Alrighty then. Alright, so this is a Kayn game. It is a win, but always good to still look at wins, see how we could have won the game potentially faster or polish up some early game mistakes here. So let's get this game up. I'm going to drag you in a second now, Steamy Melon. Alright, Steamy Melon, you're on the air. Can you hear me all good?
Yep, I can hear you.
It's Josh, right?
Yep. 2
Joshes in a row. Excellent. Alright, Josh.
Yeah, we also know each other in person.
Oh,
so.
do you really? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Alright, well, there you go. 2 junglers that know each other in person. That's pretty cool. Alright, Josh, the game should be up on your screen right now.
Okay, yeah, I see it now.
Alright, so how have we gone since our last review? Which was it? Was it 2 weeks ago? I think it was?
Yeah, I think it's 2 weeks ago.
How's
think
your
I
rank
was
been going
gold.
since then?
I got to gold 2. I've played some other junglers since then. Well, on a different camp, but about same rank. I tried Shyvana earlier today, but it's been going pretty well overall. This game's a little awkward for me because I get like pretty offset by what the Shyvana does. I didn't really expect the blue start, and I didn't know how to react to it. She starts my blue side.
Okay, yep. Alright, so let's take a look at this then. So what do you think about in general about the Kayn into Shyvana matchup, by the way? Obviously you're trying to both do the same things, right?
I haven't played it before. Even all of my Kayn games, I was like, I'm not really sure what to do in this matchup. So I was a bit confused on what to do. I was just gonna try and get level 6 as fast as possible, gank bot lane.
Yeah, so obviously again, you and Shyvana are both trying to do the same things, right? But the good thing about versing Shyvana as or like just say any sort of farming junglers in general, it sort of gives you that you don't need to think so much about getting counter ganked, right? Because they're not going to counter gank. So that sort of opens up a bit more opportunities than rather than like if you say Kayn versus Elise and Release, like your opportunities are really limited because you need to think about, okay, are they here for this gank? If I get counter ganked here, like this is not good for me, right? So, I mean, it's not going to change your identity too much. You're still going to be trying to get to level 6 ASAP as Kayn. That's where you're strong. But in terms of speed of jungling, I think it's probably about even, actually. So it's sort of just going to be whoever's just farming more efficiently.
Alright. Okay, makes sense. Yeah, she ends up with like the farm lead for pretty much the entire game off this.
So if you were to gank a lane, what are you thinking early?
Early, I was thinking the Tryndamere, but ends up killing them, and then I end up realizing, oh, Shyvana's on my blue side. Yeah, right here. I get like towards the wolves, and then I realize, oh shit, Shyvana invaded me. To the other side.
So yeah, did we know this? How did she get away with this?
I didn't initially notice, but she ends up showing top, so.
Okay, so
I kind of had asked my Tryndamere to ward blue because I had like a suspicion, but didn't end up. I guess I probably should have done it myself.
So there's this one thing, and this is why looking at lanes is actually really important to see about leashes, right? So bot shows early,
Yeah.
so it really tells me blue is probably still up. But look at this, look at where this Wukong comes from. It's a bit suspicious, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I would hedge my bets that Shyvana's taken this by this time, especially sort of like in this, like this is gold elo, right?
Yeah.
Players aren't going to be like trying to do some crazy mind games. He'd be like, he's going to loop all the way around. It looks like he's going to leash red, right? He's just going to run straight to lane. So I would just be going straight from bot side to top side. And I think, again, it's fine. And the risk isn't too bad. As long as you're holding your E, you're not wasting it. If Shyvana actually does show up here, that's whatever, you know? But that would have been, I think, way better. And this is, again, where map awareness and looking always at lanes, where they come in from. You even said that you had some sort of suspicion that Shyvana was trying to take it. You wanted Tryndamere to ward blue. I mean, to be honest, I wouldn't expect that at all. I mean, Shyvana taking your blue buff doesn't make any sense to me. She's a talisman jungler. Her starting blue and Gromp doesn't make much sense to me.
Yeah. But I mean, the reason I kind of had it is just in a lot of my games recently, I've had people try to do that, and it just seems like people have been pushed towards invading. So I just kind of wanted to make sure that I didn't get unnecessarily invaded. But
okay, so this is great. You still come down here, you see Shyvana top. So that's actually a pretty big mistake from Shyvana, actually. Obviously, she did get the kill there, but in terms of shutting you down, like, imagine how difficult it would be right now if you didn't know where Shyvana was exactly. Do you think you still would have gone to bot side jungle?
Probably not. I probably would have tried the force gank somewhere.
So I guess the option after that would be actually the fact that she's taken all 3 camps here means that she's not very far away from you. So this would tell me that she hasn't done Raptors or red. And the other thing as well is that if Shyvana's starting your blue, she has to be low health. There's no way she can like get away with like clearing all these camps with talisman and not being low. So the other option you could have done was literally like, this is saying if Shyvana didn't show top, I think what you did was right here. But you literally go straight into a topside jungle and find her. And potentially take her Raptors, kill her on a red.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, what do you think about ganking bot here?
I think it's pretty good. I probably should have done that first.
So there's a wave coming in here, so all we will have to do is just wait for this wave to crash, and then I think this is a great wave opportunity, right? The way that I think this, I mean, the enemy bot lane, they have no idea you're here. You're in a great position for your E for Kayn. Like, this is ideal bot lane ganks, right? You do have an Ezreal Bard, so it is a bit tricky. I think it's even worth to just come here, blow some flashes, then do Scuttle.
Alright, yeah, that makes more sense than what I'm doing. I think I ended up doing Scuttle.
Because again,
I kind of thought that Shyvana would be coming there, like, really quickly. Because I kind of figured that she'd just do, like, one of her camps, but she ends up full clearing her top side. I kind of figured she'd just go red and make sure I didn't invade her blue side. But...
that's potentially an option, but if you really think about it from her perspective, she probably thinks that you've just taken her bot side, right? So there's actually no reason for her to think to even come here. Like, she's like she has two options here if you think about it. She can come and try and contest you off this, or she can just do the camp she knows that is up and it's red and raptors and she wants to do raptors, right? Which one do you think makes way more sense for her to do?
Yeah, I guess it definitely makes more sense for her to do red and raptors.
That's right. This is always the thing. Put yourself in the shoes of the jungler. Like, yes, there's many paths they can maybe shut you down with, but if they don't know where you are, like, they're going to do the safer option most of the time, unless they have, like, literally 700 IQ. And they literally know exactly how quickly you clear camps and stuff. So I definitely think you could have ganked bot here, put out some pressure. And that's the thing. Same with Josh in that other review, sort of talking about early game junglers like Kayn that are like weak, and same with Kha'Zix fits in that category. Even coming to a lane and burning some flashes, it's some form of pressure. Then you're not going to have to worry about your lanes hard losing, right? You know how if like you're playing Kayn, you have 3 losing lanes? Putting out some relief, some sort of pressure, blowing flashes is great use. You know, you don't always have to get kills.
Alright. Yeah, that makes sense.
The way that I just view it is I just on damage control. Burning summoners is great, but getting kills is great, but just damage control in the early game to make sure my team's not losing so hard to a point where I can't carry them when I get level 6.
Yeah. I think so.
Also, I'm not saying you placing your wards down anywhere. So, you know before how you said that Shyvana is most likely topside, right? So, as soon as you sort of like leave this area, or like come and just like ward this. I think if you came down here and just warded this brush here, just because you know she's going to be bot side now, right? Because she has nothing to do top side. So giving this ward here could maybe potentially save your Valkos. It could save your bot lane. Just tracking Shyvana a little bit. So every time I try and do something and I have like a warding totem here, I just chuck it. Just leave it here. They're going to try and come down here. You're going to see them on the ward. It's great for tracking and it gives you options to do potentially maybe their second buff. And obviously alleviates again. This is again damage control, protecting your laners, right?
Okay, yeah.
Because think about it, if you come and like ward this, she's not going to be here anymore, right? Because you know she's cleared her top side by this time, yeah?
Yeah.
And also for Dragon, that's actually the big thing as well. If she comes and tries to rush this Dragon, that's not good for you either.
Yeah, I believe I end up kind of stopping clearing my top side when she does go for a Dragon in a bit.
Because she actually did show top again here. Okay, so you actually decide to not do your Gromp. Tell me about this. Actually, I don't think you can do it, can you? You actually have no smart. Yeah, you'll die.
Yeah, I will die. Back. I kind of also thought she'd invade my blue side again. Just because I kind of figured that she thought she's already ahead of me enough to keep invading me. So.
Okay, so.
That's why I dropped the board up.
Shyvana players, I always. The way that I would be thinking right now, it looks like she's actually taken top scuttle, but she's trying to get dragon. 100%, right? That's what every Shyvana player tries to do, 5 minutes. So I think that this pathing right here, this decision to go bot side is actually a big mistake here. So think about it. You're going for one camp, right? Gromp.
Yeah.
There's no wolves. There's nothing you can really do top here. I don't think Wukong's going to be very difficult for you to gank. Your Krugs and Raptors are going to be spawning next, and Dragon you need to defend. So even though you don't have any camps down here, you still need to go down here. And you have 2 controllers, which is great. I love that, Josh. But come and place these. Like, get some pressure going. Like, relieve some pressure. Again, damage control. So, going top here for Gromp just doesn't make any sense to me. Even if she invades, she takes Gromp. This is warded. Maybe you just do Dragon. You know? You actually wanted to come this.
Makes sense.
So yeah, a bit of inefficient path in here. Josh, you could have maybe gotten the Krugs on spawn, but actually come and defend this dragon here. This is really good. Place a control ward there. Just farm. We just need to be getting level 6 ASAP. We're so weak right now.
Yeah.
Okay. This is also the problem with buying Warhammer out of base. I always like getting the jungle item for clearing champs like this, because
yeah,
you actually don't clear faster, and you're not as healthy with Warhammer compared to, like, the machete passive is very OP for jungling. So if you come out of base, like, only take Warhammer out of base if you feel like you're going to do some sort of gank or a fight's going to happen, all right? But when you came out of base there, you had Gromp up. You know, no fight's really going to happen. I mean, maybe you thought that Shyvana was going to invade there, but again, that doesn't make sense because she should be thinking about Dragon. So yeah, I really don't like getting, because look at this right now. Now you're forced to base again. Right here.
Yeah.
Like, you can't impact. If a drag fight breaks out right now, you can't do it, you know? So the clear difference between, like, Skirmisher Saber, or what do you get? You'll probably get Blue Smite here. Do you go Blue Kayn or Red Kayn, by the way? This game's a Blue Kayn game, right?
Yeah, this game's Blue Kayn.
Yeah, so go Blue Smite. And now you're forced to go top side, and now you actually lose Dragon here, yeah. Alright, well, that's what I really want to go over for this early game here, Josh. So I guess key lessons to learn here. Look at laners early. See if they've invaded or taken some camps. Remember, people love to do this against Kayn, because I know Kayn always starts red, right? He never starts blue.
Yeah.
You missed an opportunity to gank bot and try and alleviate some pressure from your bot lane. Because if you think about it as well, you see those 2 kills that Morgana has right now. Imagine if you burnt flashes. Maybe that could have been the difference. Of, like, if Morgana didn't have flash or they get low, like, it could change the whole game. It's all these tiny little things. And the other thing as well is your sequencing of camps. And, yeah, that decision to go top for Gromp, I think, was not good at all.
Yeah. Alright, that makes a lot of sense, yeah.
Alright, any other questions around this, Josh?
Let's see. Not in particular. I was mainly just kind of curious about the Shyvana matchup, because I think this is, like, the second time I've played it against Shyvana.
Yeah. I mean, you're really, again, trying to do the same thing. It's like whoever does it better, really, you know? Whoever can, like, put out some sort of form of pressure. But remember, be thinking Shyvana's trying to get Dragon at level 6. That's actually her advantage over you. Is you can't just sort of rush a Dragon at 6. She can. So try and defend that against... Just try and, yeah, avoid that. And again, we saw options where we could have done that by placing those wards. You know, when you left the bot side so she wouldn't rush it. And, you know, coming down bot, placing some control wards down, getting some vision going.
Alright, that makes sense.
Alright, Josh, thanks for coming on, and I'll potentially see you next time.
Yeah, thank you.
Alright, see you later. Alright, so let's take a quick look at chat before we jump into our next review. So we've got a bunch of conversation happening here. Mist Fader says, also a question for after the review. In the first review, you mentioned ganking top while bot side jungle was up is risky, but if he gets the lane snowballing, isn't it worth the coin flip? So this depends. So you are right in some situations, Mist Fader. It's going to depend... Again, like as you said, like on your win condition, then it could snowball the game for you. It depends what champion you're playing. Again, if you're playing Kha'Zix, you don't really want to be taking those risks. You need to get level 6. And if you lose Raptors and Krugs, it's just not good for you. And the keyword coin flip, that's actually a term I just hate League players using. Coin flip plays. Coin flip. Like, the way you climb solo queue is you have to be consistent. And... like, there's some plays that might work in theory, but it could be a 50-50, and it could be just having that consistency in your gameplay, and playing champs like Kayn and like these scaling junglers, you have to be consistent in your gameplay. If you're taking coin flip plays, it's just not necessary. I always feel like coin flip plays are sort of a cop-out. Like, there's always opportunities that are going to present themselves in the games. Like, regardless. Like, people make a lot of mistakes in solo queue, especially in the lower elos. It's just not necessary to make coin flip plays. Take the plays that are in your favor, that you've thought about, you've set up correct vision, it's around an objective, and it's playing to your champion identity. Yes, as Jihad says here, it's good practice to take high percentage plays, absolutely. I mean, that's again the only way you climb solo queue. He likes my sweater. Yeah, it's actually funny. I'm streaming on YouTube with a Twitch hoodie. But no, I'm not partnered with Twitch or not planning to stream on Twitch. So I just use it for the comfort. It's actually a really comfortable hoodie, to be honest. Alright, so let's jump into our next review here. What have we got? We got Yusuf. Okay, Yusuf's returning on the show. Mr. Minecraft here says, I just came from a Kha'Zix video and I don't know what to do on him. I'm silver 3 versus knock. How do I go about it? It's pretty similar. I mean, you have the same identity as Nocturne. You're really trying to both get to level 6. So trying to get to level 6 as efficiently as possible. Just really account for his ults when you go for ganks. He's a very good counter ganker. It's all going to be about how you use your ultimate in between that level 6 to like the level 9 period, where you need to have high impact ults, getting kills, getting dragons, Rift Heralds, objectives. Okay, so this is a game. What server are we on? We're on EUS, so I need to log onto my EUS account. Bluster says, what was the Kayn's path that game? So he actually got invaded. He lost his entire topside jungle. So he did red, Krugs, Raptors, and then saw Shyvana top, and then did blue, Gromp, and then Scuttle Crab, the enemy blue. Alright, if I remember my password to my European West account. So I'm going to drag you in a second, Yusuf. Amplify says, just go for high risk, low reward plays and outplay your way out. That's absolutely the way that you're going to climb solo queue. Any tips for clearing raptors as Olaf? I feel like I always miss at least one little raptor when I'm doing my first clear. So Derek, you've watched my Olaf guide, right? Watching the first clear, you want to sort of like drag the camps out a little bit. It's just making sure that your queues are hitting all the raptors. And it's just going to take practice. You should be able to clear out the entire camp with 3 Qs and just auto-attacking the big Gromp. So Friendly Punoi says, what's this live about? This is my first time here. Welcome, firstly. So this is my show where I help members in my community look over their early jungle paths. I think early jungle pathing is really important in terms of jungling, because it affects the entire game, the entire flow, tempo of the game, and how impactful you can be in terms of the mid to late game stages. So we're just going over a bunch of early game paths here. We're going to drag our next guest in a moment. Let me just get his game up. Yeah, it's going to take practice, Derek. I can't explain it to you. It's sort of like a feel. Like, I think it's actually just muscle memory for me now, because I was like making the guide. So it's sort of just like, maybe just take a look at again how, in that example I show of how to correctly clear the way you sort of like move and you start the camp and throw the Qs. Alright, so this is a Xin Zhao game. I love Xin Zhao. I made a 2-hour guide on him. Minecraft says, so I just do a full clear. Yes, do a full clear. Well, not full clear. It's actually good to do 5 camps on Kha'Zix. So red, Krugs, Raptors, Wolves, blue, because then Scuttle spawns. You don't want to entirely give Scuttle, because by the time you clear that, it's actually 3 minutes 15 seconds, and Gromp takes a little bit of time to take. So that's my recommendation for the early path here. Alright, so let's get this game up here. Yusuf, you're on the air. Can you hear me all good?
Yeah, all good. How you doing? You okay?
Yep, absolutely fantastic. How have you been going since your last review? When did we do that? Was it last week?
The one before actually.
Okay, the one before, yeah.
Yeah, it's been alright. Been testing out champs and seeing what works for me basically.
And how you finding Xin Zhao? We didn't. What champ did we review last time? It wasn't Xin Zhao, was it?
We did Nunu.
That's right.
Xin Zhao was alright. I think I'm playing well on him. But a couple things, this game in particular, I thought I'd like some insight on this one, and it's relatively fresh in my mind.
So this game is a game you won. Obviously, it's still good. We can take a look at how you could have played better. But do you have any questions around this one specifically? Anything you want to look over?
Yeah, so initially I get counter jungled. I start blue side, which I've never done on Xin Zhao. I thought I'd try out because I didn't think I could impact like top or mid in particular. So I thought, let me try blue side this match, and it's the one I get counter jungled in. I want to know, or I'd like to know if, like, what was the correct reaction to when I see that I get counter jungled? What I could have done, because I was kind of scared to go for the enemy cogs, so I just want to know what I could have done basically, and how to shorten the game, because it went for a long time.
Alright, well obviously we're just going to be looking at the early game, but that's still going to see how we could have won this quicker.
Yeah.
So yeah, blue here.
Because I spot Udyr go to my red with my ward, so I'm thinking go to cogs, but I was kind of too timid. I thought it'd be not safe to do that.
So as you're walking to red, you don't know that he's on red, right? You don't know until you've checked it.
No, I do.
You do?
No, I do.
How do you know that?
Because I warded it. You can see if you play it back that it spots him on a ward. No, after I just as I'm doing the Grand Prix.
Ah, okay, yep. Okay, yeah, so
That's why I path towards the cogs, thinking maybe I should do it, but
okay, so this is a bit of a sticky situation, Yusuf. So, obviously, Xin Zhao doesn't like doing any, because right now your options are to potentially counter jungle, right? Raptors and maybe Krugs. But doing that as Xin Zhao is not ideal, because you have Machete.
yeah.
He's taking your red.
Like, are there circumstances where I ever do this clear? Because this was the first time I've done it, starting blue side.
No, I really do think doing red always start is Xin Zhao so important, because your ganks are so strong early. You need that red buff. I feel like there's so much to do. I talk about this in my guide as well, that you need to get red off the map quickly.
Yeah, that's why I usually do it, but I thought I wouldn't be able to do anything mid or top, so I'll give it a go.
Yeah, so I mean, okay, so I think that the option right now is literally level 2 gank bot.
Okay.
So literally blue Gromp, and I mean look at this right now. It's a Zara, Tristana. Look how pushed they are, and you have a Leona, right? So come down here, just level 2 gank right now.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so you come up top side here. Okay, so what I would be thinking here, Yusuf, is that Udyr is probably top side right now, because there's no reason for him to be bot right, because he's going to be clearing his bot top side after he's taken your red. So I'll be thinking this scuttle. Actually, we can contest this scuttle. Yeah, because we have priority bot and top. So we're going to go fight for this scuttle, basically. That's what our plan is right now.
Okay.
He gets it literally on spawn. Okay. Well played, Udia. Forces your flash. And you go for bot
I
scuttle.
should have realized. When I was walking towards it, it was too low HP. I was kind of hoping he didn't have smite, but that's like hope chest. I shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to think. Okay, so you sort of... So, I think... So, you obviously can't 1v1 Udia, because he has red buff, right? And Udia is actually one of the strongest duelers. I think he actually beats Xin Zhao pretty hardcore.
Yeah.
So... The only way I see contesting this is with your laners. So, you need to ping your laners to come here. But, again, the time in this, like, he just gets it on spawn. So... As soon as you see this, you literally just go bot. Like, you see how... Oh, he actually flashes on you, doesn't he? Does he flash? How does he get on you? He's so fast. What the hell? Alright, never mind. Yeah. Alright, so your reaction here is fine.
Yeah, he wins that war of attrition, basically.
Slightly risky, I think, going for those Krugs. Your bot lane was backed. Your enemy bot lane didn't know where they were necessarily, so... I think that was slightly risky.
Understood.
So what are you viewing right now in terms of your pathing? What's your win condition right now? You're thinking still bot side, right?
Yeah, I didn't think I could really do anything top. Or mid's really slippery. Top is like, okay, nah. There's no chance there for me, I don't think. Mainly bot, yeah.
Yeah, so the way I want to be pathing right now is around my bot. So, especially with Dragon coming up. So my initial reaction here is... The decision to do Gromp and Wolves is going to really affect that, right? Because now you're sort of forced to go top out of base because your Krugs and Raptors are up.
I think I path towards bot after. I don't know if after I do the top camps or straight away, because I get a few kills after that. Shortly after.
Yeah, I think it's actually good to go straight out of base.
Okay.
After these wolves, based on what you did, but I think the better situation would have been to base like before even going for Krugs. So I think that's way too risky. You should have based after Scuttle, taken your Krugs, Raptors, come down here, then impacted bot.
Okay.
You actually do go top here. Yeah. Okay, I mean, this is efficient. But, you know, now look at what's going on with bot.
Better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So think about what's happening right now, Yusuf. Bot lane was a win condition, and they're actually hard winning right now. So... do you reckon this is the right area of the map to be right now, the pressure in? Even though you did get Scuttle, that's good. But did you place a control ward there? No, that's not your control ward. Do you sort of see what's wrong with this here?
Yeah, I need to path bot earlier or set up the way to get there earlier.
Like, you shouldn't even be walking here at all. Like, there's nothing to gain here. Bot and Dragon, this is your win condition. Because if you made any mistake in terms of showing on a ward here, Uda could have taken this fire drag, and the fact that he could take a fire drag against a winning bot lane, Leona Varus, is just, that cannot happen, alright? Like, we need to be getting these dragons earlier with Xin Zhao, with the winning bot lane.
Yeah.
So yeah, you see this? So you see how your controllers, you're pressing the wrong side of the map. You know, this is your win condition. This is where you need to be hydraulic pressing.
Okay, cool.
So that's all I really want to go over, Yusuf, for this early game here. It's just not playing around your win condition, not pathing around it correctly.
Understood.
So do you have any other questions around this, Yusuf?
Just mainly about Olaf. Is it okay if I ask Olaf? Question?
Absolutely, go ahead. Just made the guide. It's fresh.
yeah, I watched all of it and been playing a bit of him. After that.
Awesome.
I was wondering, so on W, you just want to hold onto it like until you need it. In general.
In terms of fighting?
In terms of everything, really.
Yeah, I held my W a lot, especially the actual key thing. That's why I asked about fighting. Starting off with your W in fights is not ideal at all, because let's say if you're walking into a fight full HP and you start your W, you don't want that. You want to be using your W as that last, I view it as like a last stand type thing. It's like, everyone's trying to come kill you because you're like low health, but then you start Wing and healing up, right? So yeah, I do like holding my W, especially, you know, the way you clear your camps. You want to be using your W when you're super low health all the time, right? Because that synergizes so well. All the attack speed plus the lifesteal. So yeah, that's right. You definitely want to be holding your W a lot.
Okay, cool. That's great.
The lower health, the better when you use W.
I see.
Anything else?
No, that's it. Thank you so much for your time.
All right, great, Yusuf. Thanks for coming on, and I'll potentially see you next time.
No worries. Take care, mate.
See you later. All right, so that was our third guest. We got 2 more guests here. Let's take a quick look at chat. Seeing his red got stolen, why didn't he go bot after taking wolves to secure the free kills? Yeah, that's what we talked about, Bluster. That was the right move, definitely. If that was at high elo, the blue star would have lost the game. No coming back from that. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. I mean, there was the recovery for ganking bot, but I definitely think Agronox that was not a ideal start for Xin Zhao. Why starting red's ideal? You just have a lot of options. Alright, Argonus. Yes, I see you in the chat. I'm going to drag you in a moment. Again, no reason to be nervous here. We're purely trying to get better at jungling. There's no judgment here around gameplay. We're just trying to improve our early games as junglers. Okay, so let me get up your game before I drag you in. So this is a... Let me find it. Another EUS game. This is Sett Jungle. Okay, this is actually the first time I think I've ever reviewed a Sett Jungle game. In terms of not a pro player. So this is Gold 3. And it was a win to 5-7-14. Sett jungle is so fun, but he's weak though. Yeah, I think Sett definitely struggles in the jungle. He's definitely a much better top laner. Alright, Gainus, you're on the air. You still with me? You still alive? You haven't had a heart attack yet?
Not yet.
Not yet. Alright, so what's your real life name? What should I call you instead of... Or is Argonus your real name?
Andrew, I guess.
Andrew?
Because he is Andrea in Italian, so I guess Andrew.
Alright.
Andrea.
Andre's fine. I could call you Andre. Yeah? Or we can stick with Andrew. Alright, so I'm going to get your game up in a second, Andrew. So this is a Sett game of yours. It is a win. Do you remember why you wanted to review this game specifically? Have you actually looked over it yourself first, or...?
Actually, I just want to try this. This is my first time here, so I just wanted to try this. I didn't even know that I needed to come here.
Gotcha.
Actually.
Okay, yeah, so this is your first time. Alright, so let's just go over your early path. Let's just see all these things you could have potentially done better. Alright, so Sett jungle, start machete. Great. Let's take a look at your runes here. You have Phase Rush. Interesting. Phase Rush versus Conqueror. What do you think? Have you actually played Conqueror, Sett?
No, not really. I prefer Phase Rush for the stickiness, the movement speed. I don't really like Conqueror.
Okay, interesting. I'm
I
actually
guess I should try it against some Conqueror matchup like Olaf, but I should still win. At least in my experience, I win against Olaf, so I don't actually.
Okay, so I actually just had a quick look, and pro players actually do go when they jungle Phase Rush. Okay, so yeah, runes are good.
Yeah.
And Hexsec, Flash Traption, and Approach Velocity. Oh wow, that's what people go. That's really interesting. Alright, cool. Runes are great, Andrew. Let's take a look at the gameplay now. Alright, so this is
I remember
very aggressive.
there was some problem, I guess, in bot lane. If I remember right, there was some kind of invade of the enemy team. So I thought I can just start red and I can invade him level 2 because I'm way too strong. I'm stronger than him. Yeah, and I'm still playing for my good side of the map.
Okay, so I think this is excellent, Andrew. I think identifying that Echo is probably going to full clear his bot side. He's super weak, as you said. This is super aggressive. I think this is playing to your strengths as Sett, red, blue, Gromp. The problem here, I mean, this is pretty obvious as you can look at it in hindsight, is that so Sett's ganking is not the hottest. So walking this direction, you're not going to get much done, right? So what you do here is you waste flash, and you do burn her flash. You trade flash for flash there, but the thing that the rule we sort of need to take into account here is that when you are jungling, whenever you show on the map and you don't do anything, well, I can't say you didn't do anything because you did burn a flash, but it's actually more advantageous for you to still be unseen because Echo's going to be really scratching his head about where you are. And you've sort of made it really obvious where you are right now, so he can maybe freely take top scuttle. It would have been way better if you just decided, okay, didn't gank that, and maybe looped around to, I think, clearing your bot side, doing bot riff scuttle. But you've sort of made Echo's life a little bit easier by showing for that. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I ganked this in the first place because I saw Lux was engaged, and I was fine for trading my flash because I could do an X flash gank from behind.
Okay, yeah.
But then Echo came, so...
Oh, wow, okay. Oh, so that's what you do, you Hextrack flash. Oh, that's really smart. Okay, that makes sense. I'm learning a lot here, Andrew. You're actually teaching me. Alright. So this is looking pretty good. Nice.
Tried my best to save.
Oh, that's right. You got the
life,
kill.
but-
That's fine. You're the carry here, Andrew. Okay, you go for double scuttle instead of doing your bot camps.
Yeah.
I really like this. This is good. Oh, okay. You actually smart that. Nice. Okay. We're fighting. Do we want to fight here, Andrew? So, mid lane has priority right now. How much gold are you sitting on? 1100 gold. Echo has Stalker's Blade. You still have Machete. I don't think there's much reason to fight here. I really sort of want you to base. Do your Krugs, base for bot. But you do have a Darius here. I mean, yeah, I think that if this fight gets extended, this is bad because Kiana's going to be able to join and Lux can't. So given that, this is a 2 versus 3. Let's just back off and do our Krugs right now. Okay, you see the problem with this already here?
Yeah.
We're wasting a lot of time.
Mid doesn't have Creo, so difficult to fight.
Yeah. So, I mean, I loved your early game here, Andrew. I think this was great, except for that one little thing there. And you also didn't do your Krugs. I think getting these Krugs were really important, but they are doing... So, obviously, you base because you felt like they were going to do Dragon, right? Is that right?
Yeah. They were doing it. I even pinged it, but...
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, this is another problem, Andrew. So, we've lost Dragon here. Again, we don't have priority bot. We don't have priority mid. This is why map 1 is looking at lanes is so important. You have so much to do right now on the map, Andrew. You have to clear all these camps. Like, you're starting to fall very far behind. If you die here, this is worst case scenario. Imagine if you die here, Echo realizes all your camps are still up. You could lose all your bot camps, and he's gonna be super far ahead. And even though you had a good early game, you double scuttled him. All that lead's gone. All that lead's lost. So this decision, you're fighting over nothing here. You're just rolling a dice that's not in your favor because you don't have mid priority, you don't have bot priority.
Yes, it was a bit tilt. This was a legit tilt action. because bottom didn't react for the Drake. I don't know. I was a little bit tilted.
Well, see, this is the thing, Andrew. We can't be tilted here. This is your fault. Like, the enemy team can't. The enemy bot lane. Your bot lane can't react to this dragon. Your Kate's just come out of base and they have a wave to deal with here. So there's nothing to be tilted here about. This is just a gone dragon. You've lost the drag. Accept it. Move on. As soon as you start tilting, it's the right move here is just cut your losses. Blue, Gromp, Wolves, move up to top side, clear up, get your red. You'll be level 6 by then. Probably not actually, but you'll be close instead of just dying here and losing all your bot camps potentially. Yeah. So that's all I want to take a look at this early game here, because you've messed up a good early game. You had a good early game, and that one decision there just completely screwed you up. So this is what we need to work on. It looks like did you still win this game? You did, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, but we have a lot to improve on still in terms of this early game.
Yeah.
So do you have any other questions around that, Andrew?
Yeah. Well, I have, as you said, I have a bit of problem with mentality, and I'm trying to fix it, but I'm trying, but it doesn't always work.
Yeah, okay, so yeah, mentality is another whole different topic. I don't want to really get into it on this show, but at least you know it's a problem, Andrew. And you aren't going to climb solo queue if you get tilted that easily. Like that example right there is a perfect example. There's nothing to be tilted about that. That's your fault, completely.
Yeah.
All right, your bot lane couldn't react. It's not possible. Just cut your losses and do your camp. So hopefully this was helpful for you, Andrew, and thanks for coming on, and I'll potentially see you next time.
I have one question, if I can. I usually have some problem with farm. At least this is what site like Mobalytics say me, and I don't actually know how to farm better. I try to do a good camp sequencing, but it doesn't work. I don't know.
It's hard to say without looking at your gameplay, but looking at this right now, this makes sense to me. So right now, look at all the camps you've missed. So you're not prioritizing your jungle camps. You're thinking about kills over your camps. You're like, I see kill, I go. Versus, okay, I understand, I do want to impact the map, but I also need to be clear in my camps as well. So the rules that I follow is create efficient jungle paths around my win condition. Don't force ganks. Forcing ganks is a huge waste of time, and don't show on the map unnecessarily, because then you can lose your camps for that on the other side of the map, like we went over in one of the early reviews. So those are some quick tips, but it's going to take practice, and again, sort of I would really need to look at your gameplay specifically to see why that's happening, but it's super obvious here, is you just prioritize ganking way too much versus clearing your camps.
Yeah.
Alright, Andrew, thanks for coming on, and I'll potentially see you next time.
Yeah, I will come.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Great. See you later. All right, so we're going to jump into our last guest here. So Minecraft says, I just played a Kha'Zix game fresh, so may you review it. Would appreciate it. Unfortunately, we're only going to have one more guest for this one, Minecraft. But if you want to come over on the next week's episode, I do this once a week every time this time. More than welcome to come on. Just join via my Discord link up there. Alright, so let's get our last guest in here for tonight. This is a Karthus game over on NA, so let me log on to my NA account. Now's the time to be asking questions if you have any. What do I think of Talia Jungle? What do I think of Talia Jungle? Talia Jungle is, I think, one of the few junglers I've like really never touched. she's had a fair share of nerfs. I think she still can work, but she's very difficult to pull off. You need to be very good mechanically with Talia and not like getting caught. It's all about positioning for Talia around the way you can throw more Qs, obviously, and also not just getting one shot. But I think she's very, very good in the right hands. Thoughts on Trinned jungle? I'm a Trinned main. Better in top lane. You're going to have way more farm. Yeah. Don't play Trinned mid jungle. I mean, it can work, but you need a lot of gold and you need to be a split push huge threat, and you just can't do that as a jungler. You're meant to be impacting the map, doing objectives, dancing around Baron, taking dragons. That's not your identity as Trinned. As Trindamere, you want to be in a lane, just hard split push and put out insane pressure. So it just doesn't make sense for him to be a jungler. Alright, Blind Ferret, you're on the air. Can you hear me all good?
Yeah.
This is your first time on the show, right?
Yeah, it is.
And what's your real life name?
Tony.
Tony. Alright, great, Tony. So I'm actually looking up your profile, but it doesn't exist for some reason. You're on NA, right?
It's their eyes, yeah. It's not L's, their eyes on the ends.
Ah, there we go. Found it. Alright, cool. So this is a Karthus game of yours.
Yeah, it should be all the way down towards the bottom. I figured it was a good one because it's not just a fool around jungler for me and I got invaded.
Okay, do you have the replay for this, Tony? Because this is a normal game and I can't actually download replays for normal games.
I do.
Excellent. Just email it to me. I'll send you my email address and I can get it up.
I gotta remember where it is.
In terms of your folders, it should be in Documents,
Yeah.
Replays. Documents, League of Legends Replays. So I'll answer some questions while we're waiting for that. So Byron says, yeah, I'm a top main trying to maybe pick up Xin. Yeah, definitely Xin's a much better suited jungler than Trindamere. Kiana jungle. Kiana jungle's been butchered pretty heavily. I think she's way better in the mid lane. Just the fact that she can push mid, roam. Her roams are really terrifying. As a jungler, you're already technically roaming all the time, so I think she's much better in the mid lane. Sort of similar to the trend. But it can work. I'm not saying... I still think it's okay, but there's just way better junglers out there than Kiana that are more suited to the role. If I'm headed to the other side of the jungle anyway and can duel enemy jungle, is it worth transition ganking just to get that slight pressure advantage mid? If I'm headed to the other side of the jungle and can duel enemies, is it worth transition ganking mid just to get that slight pressure advantage mid? Well, it depends, Mist, because you're going to be showing your clear intent, your top side, and you're easily going to be tracked there, right? So if you can pull off a gank, burn a flash, do some pressure, but I only ever like walking through mid if it's to get a scuttle or something like that. Because again, you're giving away your position, you're getting easily tracked. So it's not... you're not being sneaky as a jungler. Too predictable. Well, yeah, the thing, it's not about your health or anything, Mist Fader. It's about the showing on the map. That's the worst thing. As soon as you show on the map, you lose all pressure. That's the worst part. Or even worse than getting to 20% health, honestly. Well, it's pretty bad, but trying to emphasize the importance of that.
It should be sent.
Alright, let me get my emails up. Alright, here we go.
Should be it.
Alright, let's hope this works.
Hope so.
Alright, it's working. Excellent.
Sweet.
Alright, so Karthus jungle. Karthus jungle. He's a bit different to a lot of junglers. He's obviously a power farmer trying to get 6 ASAP. So let's just power over his clear. So what's your standard clear for Karthus? Start blue, yeah?
Yeah, I try to start blue, and then I'll go to Gromp, Wolves, Raptors, Red, Krugs, and then hopefully I can contend the Scuttle. But if not, I just back and then go for bot Scuttle.
Yep. All right. So, tell me if you're thinking of pressure lane. So it's still important. We still can't just AFK farm on Karthus, right? We still want to be doing some sort of map pressure, some sort of impact. What are you thinking here in terms of what lane do you want to impact pressure?
I was thinking that mid would be okay, and then or bot.
Yep. I think that's the way to go. So let's try and see how we can be doing that. So let's power through your early clear here. So do you like to ward your red just in case they invade?
I end up doing that this game because I'm like, well, it's Lee Sin. He'll probably go from my red to my red. So I throw a ward right there thinking it'll catch him. And I don't know where he goes, but I never saw him.
We did see him. We definitely did see him.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
I missed it then.
It's very, very brief.
Oh, yeah. Those 2 moments, okay.
So.
But I missed him, and then I do my Wolves and my Raptors, and then he's still at red by that time.
Yeah. So, I mean, you could have easily died here, I think. This is pretty risky.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you just sort of got lucky here. I think the potential move to do here was just take his Raptors and Krugs.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I think what you should have done is actually go here and take your Raptors, let him take red, and then you go down bot. Think about how many camps ahead you'll be because of that.
Yeah. That's kind of what I end up doing, and I didn't know if it was the right choice or not, because I was going to go check my Krugs.
Yeah.
And then I changed my mind. It was like, well, I can go invade him, and I was like, well, I don't know if he's going to go bot or not. He was at red for so long. It kind of threw me off.
Yeah, okay, so you are a bit confused here, aren't you? Yeah.
Yeah, because between his red and my red, I figured he would have already been gone. So I figured that he had taken my Krugs first, and then took my red.
Yeah, so I guess that it's a bit of misinformation here. I mean, the fact that he showed right here, you know his red's gone. He has blue buff.
Yeah.
He has 12 CS. He's had to have just done red, red, blue. So you know his Raptors and Krugs are up. So let's just take those. So you see all this messing around here? Are you thinking his red buff's up? Like, you even see him here. I think you've missed a lot of opportunities to take his Raptors. Okay, yeah, so we've missed a lot of opportunities here, Tony.
Yeah.
The right move was just come take his Raptors, take his Krugs, take Scuttle, reset, come back bot, take Gromp, take Wolves, full clear back up top. You would be really far ahead of Lee Sin. You would actually probably win the game straight up off that, honestly. Because you'd be so many far camps. Like, that actually wasn't worth him taking that red from you. Because you could just, do that. So you had the right idea, but just, I think it's misinformation, a little bit of confusion. This is where looking at the enemy jungler CS is really important. To just sort of see what he's done.
And I should have taken the Raptors.
Yeah, you need to take Raptors. Alright, this is good. Full clear, get level 6. This is really all you want to be doing. Oh, why don't we do Krugs there? What's going on here?
I was going back from bot all the way through top, and then I don't know why I skipped out on the Krugs there.
Yeah, so that's a very important camp for you to be getting as Karthus. Yeah. So you should really be level 6 right now. A rule of thumb, if I'm not level 6 as Karthus by this time, you've done something wrong. We've seen what's been wrong, right?
Right.
Alright, so that's what I really want to go over for this early game, because that is really important for Karthus. Actually, you do Dragon here. This is good with bot priority.
Yeah.
But, yeah, we could definitely clearly tell we have a huge experience and gold disadvantage just from all that stuff that's happened there. So, do you have any other questions?
Yeah, and with Lee Sin that it was free.
Yeah.
But, no, I mean, I got invaded, and I wasn't sure really if it was just the right call to go in and start invading his bot side. And I don't know why I never checked the Raptors, but I didn't.
So the answer to your question was yes, that's absolutely the right decision, but you mis-executed completely.
Yes.
So,
oops.
Yeah. It's all comes down to the
But I
solution
mean,
of the day.
with Karthus, you're only trying to hit one of the minions for the like wolves, right? Like when you're clearing the camp, you just want to hit the smaller ones off first, or do you just hit it as like a big group with your Q usually?
I think that's the case. I'm actually not a Karthus player at all. I would recommend probably looking at some VODs of pro players.
Okay.
But I'm pretty sure that you want to be AoE clearing them, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I kind of thought too, but I wasn't sure.
Alright, Tony, were any other questions around this review or in general?
No, I think it's pretty good.
Excellent. Alright, well, thanks for coming on, Tony, and we'll potentially see you next time.
Yes. And thank you.
See you later.
Bye.
Alright, so that's going to be it for this show here. Thanks everyone for watching. If you guys want to come on the show, if you've recently came across my channel, just join my Discord. A couple of hours before, I usually say, if anyone wants to come on, just tell me your game that you want me to review, and we can come in and take the look at the early game. So that's going to be it for this episode 18. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video.